we do have Kian, the one on the phone from Vegas. Say hello, sir.
Good evening.
All right. So, this was something that I just wanted to play around with a little bit. It's definitely, you know, being taken through its paces. I know over the past year you've really been working on your video element, and I wanted to talk a little bit about your experience with YouTube, what you've learned, what series that you're pumping out, and just to kind of, touch on that a little bit.
We have two established series, and we also have, besides the two established series, we also have one in the works. And the two established ones that we have are Electromedicine Mondays, which explores healing through electronic vibrations and electronic music and sound, with the main instrument being my Moog grandmother, which is a semi-modular analog synthesizer. And now, after this week, I officially got my last piece of my studio. When the quarantine hit, I was hit sideways. My computer failed on me. I had to delete all my software, restart from scratch, and finally, I'm like 95% with completing not only the things I lost, but also gaining back twice as much as it was was taken from me, for lack of a better term. Then you got Wizard Wisdom Wednesdays, which honors the wizard in each individual, and this is exactly as it sounds. It is a weekly topic. Every week, I think about something to talk about, and depends on what is inspired or what I see that's happening in the world. And I try to give wisdom on whatever it is. Finally, we have what's in the works. What I would like to launch very soon is Sanctum Saturdays. Sanctum means holy, and I do believe Saturdays are holy. They are it is the day of the Sabbath, and it is the day that God rested. And to me, it is the day in which we get in contact with our divine nature. And my goal is to do live videos, live YouTube videos, where we just take a meditational musical journey into sound. And it's an integrated experience, meaning I use all of the instruments, whether they are real instruments, virtual software instruments, analog synthesizers, whatever it may be, everything comes together, and we just go and explore to, through sound, whatever wants to come through on
Awesome.
that day.
Awesome. And I think the video element is really giving you an excuse almost to explore, not only the difference of equipment, but also kind of putting it together. Whether or not it's in your albums, but, now you're getting to go on live and different things like that. And I know that it's really changing, at least for me, the Keon experience. And I know that for a lot of people, they have seen your branding kind of go through a phase. So if you wanted to kind of enlighten everybody on what you've done over the past several months to kind of change your brand and what it really means to you.
Absolutely. I mean, this past year, I think everybody can agree 2020 has been a game changer. And it has been a quite drastic shift with what we are used to. But within these drastic shifts are tremendous opportunities for growth and learning. Most importantly, I feel like I've prepared for this year, the past couple of years, to be able to keep a cool level head with everything that's happening, everything that's going on in the world, and not only be able to witness it, but to be able to embody the change without really forcing anybody to see it from my perspective or live my truth, but only be responsible for living my truth as a unified whole. And that is the idea behind Kian the One. That is, we as individuals, in my opinion, our main goal is to bring together and consolidate all the parts within us that is or are in opposition, and bring ourselves to this unified whole where we accept our success, our strengths, our pride just as much as we do with our weaknesses, our insecurities, and our downfalls, so that we can live in truth and assist others in doing the same. Because if we are not in opposition within ourselves, chances are we will not be of us. And if we are not afraid to speak up for that change, for that truth. And we are able to progress as a human species on such a faster, much more accelerated rate than ever before. And that is Kian the One in a nutshell. In my music, my videos, my events, my experiences, everything will reflect that intention.
Great, great. Because have you been asked that question before, or on your videos, have you really went into that great of detail?
Yeah, when I relaunched the brand, I did put out an IGTV explaining who Kian the One does, who Kian the One is, and what he does.
Yeah, because I know I had mentioned to create a YouTube trailer
To
video, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put this. I'm going to put this and make sure you get credit for it, because there was definitely some amazing things that came through with this conversation. And that's what I like, natural conversations.
Yeah,
Being able to talk to someone else and just let whatever wishes to flow authentically do so.
no, and I definitely think that the more that we do this, the more comfortable that we're going to get. And for you to also, set up your shore and set up your setup, and then we can kind of merge the two sets together and have a high quality product. Because obviously using the phone is not the greatest option, but it's better than nothing, and I think that having somebody that is willing to create, and not saying that we just want to come on here and talk about current events, but we could talk about anything. And I think, like I said earlier, about just having an excuse or having a purpose, really changes the entire focus of not only what I'm doing, but also what we're doing as a community. And I think that's honestly really what I'm trying to build with this studio is
Beautiful.
you know something that transcends just video production, that transcends the music business, that I've always prided myself on, not only talking to artists about their art, because at the end of the day, the reason why people are purchasing their album, purchasing their merchandise, is because they have an emotional connection with that artist. And I see a lot of YouTubers and podcasters, interview somebody, and let's say they bring in their dog, and for the first 20 minutes, they're just talking about their dogs. And to most people, or to a lot of more, how would I describe this? More traditional media folks, they are going to be like, well, why the hell are they talking about dogs for 20 minutes, right? When in reality, that 20 minutes of talking about, oh, I went to this rescue or I went to that rescue and I had this interaction with the dog, that audience is getting a impression of who you are, and bonding with who you are over your dog, which has absolutely nothing to do with your music. And I believe that in marketing, the most sacred marketing possible is indirect marketing. People need to not know that they're being sold, right?
Hmm.
And I think that that is the highest level of marketing, and from at least my experience from going to college, is that the highest level of selling is consulting. So you don't want to, sell something to anybody. You want to be able to, be their friend, be their acquaintance, be their confidant. And rather than shoving, an album down their throat, rather make it more like a friend telling somebody, hey, listen to this song if you want, and I think that that is really the best way to market is, oh, well, of course I want to listen to your music, like I love you, versus, oh, listen to my mixtape, listen to my mixtape, listen to my mixtape, without ever doing any groundwork. And
I love that.
I think there's a big saturation issue. You know, how do you feel? And I think we talked a lot about this during our first interview, but how do you feel about saturation? You know, from
Well,
from us originally talking about it to now in 2020.
it's so funny, bro, because just what you said right now. I think that's a huge phase that I'm going into right now. I'm absolutely not afraid to speak about it and give the raw truth. And that is, you you want to surround yourself with people who value your work, people who value you as an individual. And I think that is the most important thing that we can do for ourselves. Why? Because those are the people that are going to show you how valuable you are and your work is, right? And I know from like a personal perspective, I had to distance myself from people who I knew I was giving a lot to, but I wasn't receiving a not even a tiny bit back.
Are you talking about your fans, or are you talking about the industry?
Neither. Communities. Communities who I thought I was meant to serve.
Sure, and I think that this is a similar thing that you saw in Cincinnati, that the same group of people in the underground are the same ones showing up. The same people. It's not like there's traditional pure fans. It's, the only people that are really showing up are people that are in the industry themselves,
Perfect.
right?
Perfectly said. But not even in the industry. They're just, uh, these are just communities, right? They're not the world. They're just communities, right? They're not an accurate representation of your talents or what's really out there. But we think we have to really prove something to these certain groups of people. And that's why we show up day in and day out, you know, trying to do that, trying to do just that is say, hey, like, even if you're not conscious of it, even if we're not aware of it, to be like, hey, you know, this is this is what I do. This is what I do. Let me get some validation for it. While that is also the problem, because that's what it means when it's saturated. Because you have all these people wanting to receive validation, and they're looking in the wrong places, right? They're looking in the wrong places to receive that validation. And B, I don't know. Hold on, I gotta really think about B. There was something that wanted to come up, but now it's gone. But let's just go back to A, and that is people want this validation, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get this validation, but they don't realize that sometimes you are doing things for the wrong people, and you're beating a dead horse, like trying to get people to like you for what you do, but truthfully, that's not the point. I think the point is far greater. I believe the point is far greater. I said point.
Sure. No, absolutely. And in my personal opinion, I think we are a generation of experience seekers, and that we are seeking these experiences for no purpose, that they're hollow dreams. And once,
Mm,
it's the same thing about like the dog chasing the mailman. Once
no,
he
but
actually
listen.
catches up to the mailman, what is he actually going to do with it? You know?
Right, right. But what you just said is very important. Okay, people are beginning to live for greater experiences, and this is actually one of the things that I put in my Columbia essay. Uh, People are beginning to live for greater experiences, but you need to have experiences that have substance. Otherwise, people are just going to be searching for the next best thing. If you are able to create an experience with substance and an experience that ultimately leads to the transformations of those who stumble across it, you, my friend, have officially made it.
Sure,
But
and I and
until
I
that
think and I think you definitely have something with electric medicine Mondays, is that you're providing value within healing. And I think this isn't just a run of the mill, rain or a thunderstorm or, something to help somebody fall asleep. It's much more than that. And I think that that is a part of your experience that is providing value.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Definitely. I try to make it an edutainment transformative experience. So it's a little bit of education because I talk about sound.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a little bit of entertainment because you get to hear a live, like literally, it's live. Like
You,
maybe I
you need
messed
to
around with
you
the
need to
sounds a
you
little
need
bit
to
before.
copyright that word. I mean, where did you get that word at?
That's actually from college. That's
Okay.
actually from my undergrad. Uh, in my
Edutainment?
yeah, and in my experiential marketing class, where we were taught how to build experiences as a science, not just an art, but the structure and all the different elements that are present in creating an experience. And edutainment was one of the words that I came across
Wow.
because
Yeah.
education is interactive, it's active, okay? And then you have entertainment, which is passive, right? So you combine the active and the passive together and you create an experience, a transformative
Yeah, I
experience.
absolutely agree. I was sitting with my uncle as we were working on the studio, and he was playing some, classic rock. And he asked me, "Oh, do you know so and so band? Do you know so and so band?" And, for me, without that nostalgia, at least in my situation, and obviously I'm 25 years old, so I'm not, some youngster running around. But for me, after
Yeah,
I've
you're
listened to a song over and over and over and over, it really loses its value because it's no longer educating. And I think that's why, at least in my situation, 98% of the time I'm listening to podcasts because I'm interested in learning. And I think this, although not everybody would believe that, these newer generations are interested in learning, but we are, that every second counts. And to just listen to music that, yeah, sure, if you're in a party environment or if it's, a specific purpose, sure, music has its place. But 99% of the rest of your time, you want to spend it wisely. Wouldn't you agree? Like, I feel like we're making a different calculation where the previous generations music was everything. It's that nostalgia. It's that, oh wow, this came out in the 70s. This came out, in my heyday. So they kind of have that nostalgia type of feel, whereas for us, we're completely saturated with so much quality music, so we shut it all off and go, "Hey, I'm good on music. I'm just trying to learn." Because after that overload of music, I mean, what do you listen to on a regular basis? Like when you're, doing the dishes or driving in your car, like what are you listening to?
It just depends, man. I have so many. I listen to such a wide variety of genres, but a majority of them are old school songs, like from the 70s and 80s, because that era had soul. There's a lot of soul in the music. People can make quality music,
So are you saying
but
you
but
primarily
not
listen to music over podcasts or different things,
one
videos?
thousand percent,
Okay.
1,000%. You know, there.
So you
This is
just
the
listen to
thing,
the
man.
same songs over and over again.
Not the same songs. From time to time, I go and discover new songs, but more so for the sake of inspiration,
Sure.
as opposed to
But the
like,
70s are the 70s. They're not going anywhere. So eventually, you're ultimately just listening to the same group of songs. I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about everybody, right? It's not like the
yeah,
Beatles are coming out with a new album next week, right?
right.
That's what I'm
Are they
saying.
really?
What I'm saying is they're not.
Oh,
That no music, there's no new Beatles coming out. The Rolling Stones aren't coming out. The Who aren't coming out with something new. Like there's nothing that is of that age that is new. So eventually, you're ultimately, not just you, but everybody that's listening to older music. And I'm a fan. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying that after I've listened to the same song 100 times, which I probably have, it loses its appeal. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, you come from a different background, so I don't. I mean, what age were you born at? You weren't born in the United States, right?
no. And I didn't. I did grow up in the United States, but
So, what age did you come to the United States?
I came to the United States when I was 8 years old.
Okay. And did your parents listen to hard rock?
My dad listened to classic rock,
Okay.
and I
So
was
you
exposed
grew up
to
with
a
it.
lot of
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I was exposed to a lot of Pink Floyd
Okay.
when I was younger.
Great.
Ton of Pink Floyd.
Okay. So you have the same. It's not like you just discovered this music in your later years. You grew up with it.
Exactly. But the 70s that I do listen to is funk and soul. That's the thing. Those are the things I wasn't exposed to. But like I said, man, it just has so much soul. I mean, of course, it's called soul music, but it just has has a particular substance, and the things that they talk about are almost universal in a sense. And I mean, of course, you could say that with other songs today too, but there was just such a warm, just a warm, familiar feeling. And who knows, man? Maybe that's the kind of music I listened to in a past life.
Sure, and that's interesting that, yeah. So my B camera keeps on shutting off every 6 or 7 or 10 minutes. I don't know why. My A camera has been going for about 28 minutes. The audio has been going for about 29 minutes. So whether or not we just publish the audio and or I try to play around with the footage, but for some reason my B camera was shutting off every 10 minutes. That's why I kept on getting up and walking away.
No worries, bro. This was a great interview,
Yeah,
man.
sure. Little kickback. Is there anything on
Definitely.
your mind?
And this is, listen, let me tell you something, bro.
Yeah.
This is really revolutionary, and I got this idea while we were doing this. I think what you should do is perfect whatever it is that you want to do with this kind of platform, and afterwards, start talent hunting. Don't go for like big shots, but like talent hunt. Talent hunt. This is you. By you doing this, realize you don't need anybody to physically be there with you, right? Start hunting for talent, right? And be like, hey, can I? And actually do your research on, and like if it's dope, reach out to them and be like, hey, can I interview you? May I interview you for this, for my podcast? And then you would just tell them what it's about. And dude, this is a $1 million idea right here, and
No,
you'll be
and
able
I
to.
and I absolutely agree. Like especially with the green screen as well. That if I could find a way to even somehow either send them a green screen. I'm talking about long term. We're just going on this idea, right? That if they were also to have a green screen, I would be able to post production make them feel like they're actually here too. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
So that's another side of it that, long term, they could actually be. But then that would obviously get complicated because most people probably don't have cameras. Most people, if they do have cameras, they have shitty cameras. And the other concern is obviously the audio aspect. But like you said, I need to perfect this,
But don't overthink it either. Like you can literally. I'm gonna post something tomorrow. I'm gonna post something either tomorrow or Monday, or yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And it is and I gotta remember to post it. I'm gonna post it at noon. Give me a second.
And have you ever heard of Facebook Studio or Instagram Studio? Did I send you that?
No.
It's kind of like a YouTube studio, but for Instagram. It's definitely not as detailed, but it's pretty nice. I'll send it to you.
A show.
Because you can schedule stuff within that app, so then you can pick a specific time and it'll automatically post it for you.
Beautiful, bro.
Yep.
But yeah, man.
Sure.
Like I said, look into air.
But I would definitely like doing this again, man. That we're gonna get more and more loose. That I think the more loose that we get, the better.
Absolutely.
And whether or not it's once a week, and obviously we have conversations anyways, but or maybe once every other week or once a week or really whenever you want, because obviously I've got the space. I'm trying to think, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel that current events can get political and can get a little bit sticky. So I think
You should talk about people, bro. Like find this is my advice to you and what wants to be told to you. Find people on the internet. Think about how I found you, bro. Find people on the internet. Start something brand new.
Yeah.
I sent you something, by the way.
Well, you could always, and I know you could help reach out to people as well. We could always, figure this out.
No, listen, bro. I'm telling you, man. The time is now for you, right? And if you procrastinate, you brought it on yourself. You brought it on yourself. I don't want to hear anything about, we don't have anything or like this or that. This is
a good
what
idea.
you have. What you have is plenty, bro. And if you keep thinking you gotta add more, you'll never create, bro. Trust me. And this was one of my biggest lessons, bro. And that is, it doesn't fucking matter. Just put shit out there, dude. But this is my advice. Find people who you will be passionate about. Find people who you can become their fans. It doesn't matter what industry, bro. It can be fishing. It could be hip hop. It could be sports. It could be anything, bro. Spiritual. And guess what? You talk about them, right? And watch, bro. I promise you, because you're already good at that. You're already good at asking the right questions. And if you're passionate about someone, it'll help you even more so.
No, I agree with what you're saying.
And dude, I'm just saying, if you don't do this, no pressure. But if you don't do this, you chose not to do this, okay? Because it is I see it clear as day for you. I see it clear as day. And that is you with this setup. Look at that thing I sent you. It's so ridiculously easy to do something like that. You just have to learn how. And once you're able to do that, then just start finding talent, bro. Come up with a name. Go start finding talent. Start finding people who you're like, holy shit, this is dope. And not only do you get your circle up, right? Because this is it, bro. This is what you want. And I know you, TP. You're a natural networker, and you naturally like talking to people. You feel me? And if you do anything less than
I
this,
completely agree, because I think talking to people is the content. That anybody can talk about news, anybody can talk about current events, but I have the capability of talking about other people and then giving them my perspective on themselves.
Absolutely, my bro. And that's it. And so,
no, I like it.
You don't need anything else, bro. Like, you will build shit as time goes by, inevitably. But with what you have and what I know that you have and what I see that you have, bro, you better fucking get to it, bro. These next 6 months, all right?
Yeah, I just need to put together a press release. Or like a
what? Did you say a press release?
Or how would I contact this talent? Just have like a standard
fucking straight up
DM?
You don't need to be professional, bro.
Just get in the DM.
This is the fucked up thing that I think people are brainwashed with. They think they have to be this ultra like clean personality. Nah, dude. Just be you. That's what's going to be the most valuable these next couple of years is authenticity, bro. And if you want to put together something, do it, bro. But honestly, all you need is a name, a mission, and that's it. I was going to say vision, but the mission is the vision.
Yeah.
Right?
So just DM and say, hey, I'm Tony. I have, this link of showing, what work that I've previously done. I'm looking for talent, interested in seeing if you would like to jump on a call, see if we vibe, And then if we vibe, then we can schedule the time for the interview.
Bro, if you like them, this is the thing. If you are passionate about these people, you won't need to. You could just say, "Hey, my name is Tony. I have this podcast, and I think it would be so dope to have you on there. Like, I think I would love to interview you. Would you be interested?" If
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody wants, dude.
So I
Everybody
have.
wants to be heard, bro.
Okay. I like. Okay. And luckily, I was recording that, so I can go back and listen to it. So I definitely think that this was very informational, and I agree, man. You know.
Tony. I outlined your next 6 months, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. If you call me and you're complaining about you're not done with the studio, so you can't fucking do work, I'm gonna be like, bro, shame on you.
No,
Shame.
absolutely. No, and I think that direction of just cold calling people, but cold DMing them and just saying, "Hey, I've got a podcast. I'm interested in featuring you. Are you interested?"
That's it.
Yeah, I
Keep
like
it
it.
simple. Keep it simple. Your first couple of videos should be like who you are. So when they come to check you out, they're like, "Oh shit," So come up with a name and mission. That's it. Name, mission. And then you're based on your mission, make a couple of videos, start a brand new account, don't do a lot of hashtags, but do a little bit of hashtagging
So you're thinking a brand
based
new
on
account.
your vision. Based on your vision. And guess what? Yeah, brand new account, bro. Start this fucking shit over.
Okay.
And that's it. That's it. Clean slate. You can link your brand new account to your old account and be like, run and curated by Anthony Marshall Prugel.
Sure. I'm just thinking that the numbers would probably help people think that I'm serious.
No, bro. If you have 100 people following you, right? Don't worry about numbers. You go and find talent, bro, and you be genuine about it. You tell them. You be like, "Hey, man, I just started this, but I'm a big fan of your work, dude." People will fucking eat that shit up. People want to be heard. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you the truth, bro. And watch. These next 6 months, it's gonna be good for you. But it's time. The time is now, bro. And
No,
I'm here
and
to help you
I
out and
think
give
it's
you
a good idea.
advice. You've been wanting this inspiration. You've been wanting to know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And
Content.
as you progress, bro, trust me, as you progress, you will fucking implement the green screen. You'll implement all this other shit. And guess what? You'll have people on for second interviews. And people would want that shit too. You're building, but think of the big picture here. Yeah, you're building a podcast, but most importantly, you're building relationships, right? You're establishing relationships with people, which is something I know that is in your heart. I know that TP is about that life.
Sure.
Is building and maintaining relationships. And that's it, man. And from then, you fucking better do it.
Sure. And I think that's a solid 43-minute excursion, little adventure.
Sure.
Well, thank
Don't
you.
forget to, you're very welcome, bro.